Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our third installment in our video series on National Education Week. Today we're speaking with analyst Randi Powell, who recently did some work around education data systems. Randi, welcome.
Thank you.
Great. So let's start with education data systems. What are they and how are they used on the state and local level?
The education data systems differ on the state and local levels. On the state level, they really pull up the data from the district level and use that information to help make policy decisions, help with education policies at that level. On the district level, they're using it more for tracking for classroom learning methods and making sure that classroom devices and classroom curriculums are being implemented correctly. So what you're going to see are things like student information systems, which are going to track attendance. It's also going to track grades, assessments, any sort of behavioral problems, things like that. And then you're talking also about teacher evaluation systems, which not only track teacher reviews, but also their professional development, as well as any training programs that they actually took to get their credentials. So those are the types of education data systems that you're going to see kind of differ on the procurement level from the state and local level. So the local level is definitely going to procure more of the first-hand, frontline type of data, and the state level is really going to look for systems that are going to be able to integrate with the local level and basically be able to pull up that information and kind of create analytics and reports based on that information. So you're going to see very similar programs but used differently.
So how does the landscape look and what are the market drivers for education data systems?
You're going to talk about the federal government, and you're also going to talk about the Race to the Top grant coming from the federal government that have really pushed state governments to make education reforms over the past, I want to say like 7 years. Now what the federal government is doing is that they're pushing Race to the Top on the district and local level. So we'll see a lot of the same instances, circumstances that happen at the state level really actually unfold at the local level. Another driver is going to be state legislation. So a lot of states, to complement the federal government grants and the federal government policies, have made state level legislation requirements of their own for local school districts.
Now, what are some of the key takeaways for vendors?
The takeaway for vendors for education data systems is really going to provide a navigational map over the past 5 years and what the Race to the Top and No Child Left Behind and statewide longitudinal grants on the federal level, how they have affected the market up until this point. So you'll kind of get a back view of what actually has been happening. What the blog and the report actually will kind of dive a little more into are what are the next steps, what are the other opportunities coming along. So some of those opportunities are going to include integration services, are going to require new education data systems on the local level, and you're also going to see the requirement or at least the need for analytics and reporting tools that a lot of local level institutions either don't have or they're not utilizing to the level that they actually need to. So there's going to be a lot of different opportunities coming out of this now that the statewide longitudinal data systems have pretty much been completed, or they're reaching completion and full implementation. So you're going to see some exciting new opportunities on the local level, just kind of small details, analytics, business intelligence solutions needs on the statewide and local levels as well.
Thank you so much, Randi. Thanks again for listening. Tune in tomorrow. We'll be speaking with Randi again regarding the Race to the Top grant program.